Hello, beautiful people. Victoria here with the Scrappy Crafter. Today I'm working on the prepper quilt or upcycled quilt with, you guys have already seen me with my little blocks. This is actually fabric that I purchased, or not the denim, just the flannel from Vermont Flannel Company. This is the flannel that I harvested from flannel shirts. And this is the denim. All this denim I harvested from jeans. So I have made, go back and show you. I've made the individual little blocks, and all it is, the little block inside with a 1-inch border around, right? So it's 1 inch bigger than the center block. And then I just sew an X on it, and that's it. There's no stuffing, there's no batting, nothing. Then we sew them together like that. Pull them apart. I'm going to fold this one because this is a big one. These are my 10-inch blocks. And I just finger press down to open it, and then you fold it in and fold it under like that. I am using actually, I don't know that I don't really need my line. So what happened was, I guess these jeans must have been really small. So I had, if you can tell, I had a gazillion of these little bitty squares. So when I cut this particular denim up, I didn't have a lot of the big center pieces. So I just had these little bitty squares, which I sewed together so you could see the seam. I sewed together 6 of them. No, sorry, 9 of them. I can't count, to make one big block, which is perfect for the center of the larger blocks. And now I'm going to pull you out a smidge so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So just typical quilt as you go, and we're just going to sew down here. I have my machine set on 2.5, but I typically like this bit to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go to a 3 on my Juki and just fold it down, make sure it's nice and open, and then just go right down. Do a little back stitch, and where's the other one? Okay. Oh, there they are. I stood up and I took them off my lap. So I'm just grabbing from my lap. So I have another one, and we're just going to kind of like chain piece these, and then we're going to flip them over, and we're going to open up the other side and go down the other side. And I did a bunch of these at the quilt retreat. This was a great project to work on in the quilt retreat because, you know, something's happening. It's kind of mind-numbing work. So, you know, just the same thing, repetitive. But these quilts go so fast. Like, you know, they're pretty quick to put together if you focus on it, and just, you can bang it out pretty fast. And I do a back stitch to start. Flatten it out. Finger press down. And just zip, 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 zip. Whether you want to call this, I mean, I'm calling a prepper quilt because my brother asked me to make this and make it special for the prepper people. You know, harvesting thread. Oh, I just broke my thread. That's okay. I can turn this over and do the last one after. He asked me to do this quilt for him or for the prepper people, if you all know what they are. If you don't, you can ask the Google. And if you put in preparation or prepper, then you'll know. And yeah, we don't judge here. We just go with the flow. Some people are, some people aren't, and that's okay. Right? If you don't like it, don't do it. That's my... There you go. And this one is next. It's already pretty flat because I've already done the other side. I don't have as many of these in a row because they're bigger. So, which makes sense. I think it's 2.5 or 3 to 1. I just like to get going a little bit before I kind of put this in place, spread it all out, and I fold this over because I always have my tools right here handy. I know they're sort of in the way, but that's where I like them, handy. I like them handy, and it doesn't really bother me. And I'm actually applying a little bit of pressure here, pushing this apart and pushing this down. You can pin it, totally. Pins are always, helpful. Popping in the pins, as Tracy from the Sewing Channel says. Hi, Tracy. I don't know if she watches. I don't know her schedule, but I'm saying hello anyway. Because she says pop pin in it. She's always popping the pins. And so, here we go. I'm going to trim this just a smidge. I don't like these extra threads here kind of sticking out. So remember, this is the one that I accidentally forgot to add on. I clipped the other one a little too soon because I forgot I had a third. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, now I'm going to separate these. You can see what I'm doing. And I'm just taking this and turning it. That's it. If you want to know about my laser light, I got it from Temu, or Temu, T-E-M-U. Real deal, off the interweb, not from the app. I don't recommend the app, but I do recommend the website. They have pretty much, it's exactly the same stuff as on Amazon. You have to wait a little bit longer to get it, but it's the same stuff. So why not? You're going to save quite a bit. If you're in a hurry, you don't care about the extra cost, whatever, wherever you want to get it, wherever you want. Anyway, so now so this is how we do it. We make sure they're 2 different sides. For me, it's this way. I do a couple things when I'm lining it up. Hopefully that line doesn't bother you. First off, I'm looking at this tip right here, this and right here, because once it's folded over, look at that, they line up, which is pretty cool. You want them to kind of line up. This one, maybe not so much. Oh, I see. So you can see what I did there. But in the long skein, you're not going to really know that this is just a little wider here because I didn't pull it very tight. But that's okay. You're not even going to know. So I'm looking for I can feel it through. I can feel that the back one is just a tiny bit lower. And, or you can see the stitches and just line them up just like that. However, so feel on the back, peel it back like that. Because, and what I'm doing here is, I'm going to zoom in so you can I can show you. Oops. Okay, so what I'm doing is, I'm peeling this back like this, right to that edge. Then when I pull this back, this should be, you can just see that denim there. That's what I'm doing. Then remove the garbage from sewing area. Sometimes my machine, like I have a habit of working close to my needle and then it'll come undone. So I just want to make sure that my thread's pulled out. When I use my needle, my thread cutter, it cuts it, what is it, like 10 centimeters or something? Super small. So just make sure that you're all lined up. This needs to come forward a smidge. Then this light comes in handy because I can't see underneath, right? Because it's a much wider seam, and we can line it up right along the. Oh, like you can't see because I'm out of focus. I apologize. You focus right here along this denim. That's where this light comes in handy. I don't know how long you were out of focus for. I apologize. Okay, so make sure that I'm back on like 2.5, 2 back stitch, and then come down, and I keep my laser light right here at the edge of this denim, and it's going to puff up a little bit. It's going to jump up, but that's okay. It's okay. We can lift that and squish that under. Okay. And I found it easier to do them. You can do them however you want, but I found it easier to just quilt it right along, right as I go. So spread that apart. Pull these flaps open. I'm gonna zoom out a smidge. Pull them open real good, all the way down. Hopefully this won't matter too much. Then fold this in. Go down. That's it. Super simple. And now onto the other side. As this gets wider, it's simple to just fold it over, and you can see this side is where the stitches are, right? Same thing. It's like I said, it's sort of it's a little tedious. So that's why I said this is a great project for a quilt retreat, because you can be up talking to people, you can hang out, and then you don't necessarily have to you could stop at any point. It's not going to really mess you up too bad, because it's so many small it's a lot of short stitches, if that makes sense. You know, short rows. Now, when you go to sew this onto the next row here, because this is a long strip, there is a little, it's a little bit longer. However, it's it is what it is. So then we just go on to the next one, and that's all it is. It's one after the other. You know, we just take the next unit that we have already prepared, put them together, line them up. So the idea is to have it lined up to this point, because you are going to go under. It's going to move, right? And then you can lift this up. Don't lift your needle. Just lift your foot up, and then just keep on sewing. That's it. You open it up, and then it's the same thing. You pull this apart. Pull your seams open like this. You make sure that, you know, it's an inch. Your knuckle's typically an inch. So, if it's a little less, you know, it could work. I've had it, you know, it's because this is kind of scrappy. It's pretty forgiving. You can do it. I've done it with, I mean, being with the flannel, you kind of want a little more. I've done it with regular cotton fabric, and if you have half an inch, that works also, because when you fold it in, you're going to be at a 1/4 inch, and that works too. So, but we're just doing a nice chunky, because these are big blocks, and it's kind of fun, but super simple. So if you want to get into quilting and you don't know where to start, this is a pretty good one to start with. Like, my first block starting was a log cabin. I was 12. My sister taught me the log cabin when I was about 12 years old. So, and that's a pretty intense one to learn right out of the gate. And you don't have to flip it if you don't want. You could just do this. This also is good. You know, like if you know that side is longer, and you want to keep the short side over here, totally go for it. Totally. You can do it. So, again, my thread, it cuts it so short, which is fine. But I always just like to make sure. That's it. Bing. So cute, right? And then this is what the back looks like. How cute is that? We're getting there.